lastly, we're going to talk about the Borderlands box office failure that might be the biggest flop of the year, possibly.
I think it might be the biggest flop in the decade so far. I mean,
wow. Well, I mean, Morbius and Madam Web did really badly.
This is by far worse, I think.
Yeah, well, I definitely want to compare numbers, but yeah, you might be right. But yeah, so basically, what was it? Domestic opening weekend. This made 8.8 million domestically. I think it made around like 15 million or so worldwide. When the budget was 115 million.
Mm-hmm.
I think I know a lot of the reasons why this didn't do well. And keep in mind, neither of us are like the Borderlands fans, like for the games.
No.
But we're just interested in dissecting why something failed so badly.
I mean, failed catastrophically badly.
Right.
And granted, let me just pull up, directed by Eli Roth, who made like movies like The Green Inferno, did Thanksgiving, which Thanksgiving was I heard pretty good. It wasn't terrible.
I've heard Eli Roth is like pretty hit and miss though.
He is. I think his track record's a little hit and miss.
Right.
But like not like I wouldn't say like a terrible director by any means.
Right.
But on top of the fact that you have big names like Cate Blanchett and Jamie Lee Curtis and Kevin Hart and Jack Black.
Right.
And yes, granted, Borderlands is as much as it has had a lot of video game sequels,
popularity.
It's still not like the biggest.
I think that's one of the big reasons is that if you weren't gonna reach and get the video game audience interested, I think this movie was going to fail regardless, because I just don't believe it has a mass audience appeal. Well, it's too specific to a property, and sure, maybe it has a theme of like other movies. It just feels so specific, Well,
I would maybe push back against that a bit, just because I think that there's been, and you've seen it recently with Fallout, and with The Last of Us, and with even Guardians of the Galaxy, where a franchise where you have a dedicated fan base, and yes, Fallout has a very big dedicated fan base, but the majority of people don't know what Fallout is, and did not know what Fallout was. A majority of people did not know what The Last of Us was.
I understand.
A majority of people did not know what Guardians was, but it was good. Okay, go on.
I just want to say, but that's my argument though, is that like Borderlands is not like could you even tell me what Borderlands is?
If they did the movie and they marketed this trailer in a way that told me what it was, then yes, I could tell you. But I don't have any idea from the trailer what this is even about.
But I think to that point is that like Fallout and The Last of Us are so very obvious that like The Last of Us, we're in basically a zombie apocalypse. Fallout, we're basically just in a nuclear apocalypse. I think that's so easy to grasp for a general audience. Yeah. Whereas the marketing, like you said, like it's not apparent what kind of world we're in, what the story's about. It's just kind of craziness, which I get Borderlands is.
Yeah.
But the problem there too is that like it seems like you didn't go crazy enough, because it's like Borderlands is, from what I hear, a very violent game, and this went PG-13, took out most of the violence that fans were wanting, and then you also, from what I hear, did terrible casting decisions. Even if they're big names, they weren't the right people to play them. Like Cate Blanchett's character in the game is from what I hear, is like in their 20s. And then like Kevin Hart's character is this like big buff dude, and Kevin Hart's a small guy. It doesn't make sense. And I mean, and people didn't like Jack Black's claptrap voice, and I mean, it just, I mean, it feels like this movie missed on every single point it could make.
Yeah.
And it just turned into the biggest catastrophe of the box office.
Yeah, I mean, it's lost what? 100 and potentially $101 million to $111 million.
I'm gonna guess the marketing
and plus the marketing
was probably like 40, 50 million, I would assume, at least. So you're losing a lot of money.
I mean, they took a bath. I mean, you have the Rotten Tomatoes at one point was at 3%.
Yeah, was it at like 6 or something?
9. It's at 9.
Okay. That's pretty bad still.
The audience score is at 52,
which is low for an audience score.
It is low.
Yeah.
And granted, I don't know a whole lot about the universe. I'm just looking at what I'm seeing. And to the point of like The Last of Us and Fallout and other video game adaptations, yes, to your point that they couldn't even get like fans on board. So
right.
When you can't even get the fans on board, you still have the potential to
get a general audience.
Get in a general audience, but they still didn't present it in a way where I knew what the story was. All I saw was basically, I don't want to offend anybody that goes to Walmart because I still shop at Walmart, but basically Walmart, Guardians of the Galaxy. And it was like, it was like, also, I don't really understand what this world is. All I know is that there's a talking robot. A girl is wearing bunny ears for some reason.
Right.
Kevin Hart is shooting things. There's a guy with like a mask on that looks like he's from Mad Max. Mm-hmm. And there's aliens, maybe. And
Jamie Lee Curtis is there. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, this movie is a mystery, especially since I'm not like I like video games, but obviously I'm not a Borderlands fan, so I just don't know much about this world, and I think we're maybe more speaking from a general audience standpoint, and the fact that it was so confusing to us that we were like, I think we're gonna skip on this, right?
Yeah,
and then also like obviously the bad reviews came in. And that is a huge deterrent for people like going to see a movie these days.
Yeah, I mean, but it's not even that it was like, some people didn't like it.
It was like everyone.
Was like everyone didn't like it. Everyone was like, everyone was saying like, don't even think about seeing this movie. It's terrible. Don't even waste your time in watching this movie. It's so funny
that like, I don't know if you saw, but like the CEO of like, is it 2K that owns? I don't know, like the CEO of like the game publisher, it was like, who came out and was like, look, you guys got to give the movie a chance. Like, at least see it before you write it off. And I was like, that's definitely not a great thing you have to say. And
you said that Madam Web and Morbius might be worse. No.
Oh no.
Because the budget for Madam Web was $100 million.
Okay.
Its box office. Makes sense. Its box office was $100.3 million.
Wow. No way it reaches $100 million for Borderlands.
No way. And then the box office for Morbius was 167.
That's crazy. What?
And the budget, let's see what the budget was. Budget was 75 to 83 million.
That's it? Wow, Morbius was cheap.
But you have a movie in Borderlands that cost, what was it again? It was $115
million.
Million, yeah.
$115.
Make a movie. Here
you go.
Yeah, have fun, kids. Yeah. And it opens with and I don't honestly, Ian. Just talking in terms, like, I don't know if people, sometimes I talk to Hannah and I'm like, how much, I even asked her, I was like, how much do you think that, like, I think I I told you, like, with Deadpool and Wolverine, I was like, how much do you think Deadpool and Wolverine made opening weekend? She's like, I don't know, like 50 million. And I was like, 50 million? This movie you think made 50 million? I was like, no, it made like 300 million.
400 mil.
400 million, yeah. And then I was like, how much? And Borderlands is doing terrible. Like, how bad do you think it's doing? She's like, I don't know, like 10 million. I was like, okay, well, you know, it's
she was close. Yeah,
you're close. But like, still, like, let's say that this movie only has a 50% drop second weekend.
It's gonna be more.
I know it's gonna be more, but I think it's already up for. I think it might already be up for YouTube. Like you can buy it.
No way.
I'm gonna click on it. That's
crazy fast.
Well, I'm gonna click on it right now. Let's see if it is. But I think you can pre-order it.
Okay.
You can pre-order.
That would have been insane.
But I mean, sorry, what was I gonna say? It's I don't even know if it makes 13 to 15 million.
Like on the next weekend, or because
like
it's already
in its total run.
No. I think so. The 8.8 was domestic, so I think it's already at 15 million worldwide.
Okay, if it's at 15 million worldwide, I don't see it making. I find it hard to believe I see it making 23.
I think in its entire box office run, I'm gonna predict 40 million.
40? I don't know.
I predict 40. Yeah.
I think enough people are like not even seeing it like that. I don't know. You could be right.
If it sticks for a month, I think that's like the most this movie's going to be at box office. Yeah, maybe just 30 actually. Ugh. Yeah, I don't know. It could just be 30. Yeah. I'll change it to that. That's crazy. Yeah. Oh man. Yeah, probably not going to be making another video game movie from that developer for a while, I would assume.
Yeah. And I mean, like, I feel so bad for people who are Borderlands fans because
this movie was in development for a long time.
And that might have also been part of the problem. It's like somebody obviously, not obviously, but they wanted to develop this for a long time. They somehow figured out a script that they thought worked, but obviously it didn't. And they originally had one director who like wanted to direct it, and then they moved on to Eli Roth. I don't know the whole backstory with that personally, but
from what I hear about the script, though, is that I mean, and this could just be rumor. I just heard it online. Is that the script was actually like received really well by like the studio, but they believe that Eli Roth came in and had his own like vision of that script and like did a bunch of rewrites and so people are like, a lot of people are blaming Eli Roth for this catastrophe.
Yeah.
I don't know who the blame falls on, to be honest, but I think it falls on a lot of people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't think that it's honestly, I don't think most people even know about this movie. So in terms of it hurting video game movies, I don't think it does. I don't think it does.
I feel like the marketing was pretty strong though. Like I saw this like Hannah not everywhere. But
Hannah had no idea. She was like, "What is this?"
Whoa.
I guarantee you. I asked people at my work, "Hey, do you know about that Borderlands movie?" People go, "What is Borderlands? What is a Borderlands movie?"
So the marketing didn't do its job.
I honestly, Ian, I didn't see any Borderlands trailers. I didn't even know that movie was coming out when it did last weekend.
No. That's bad. That's really bad.
I had no idea. I forgot. I did not know that movie was coming out.
Yeah.
I saw nothing for it. Nothing.
Well, that's really telling. So bad marketing mixed with a bad director, mixed with bad casting.
I think they knew it was bad, and they just were like, we're just not going to do the marketing and the push because it's not going to do well.
I don't know. I feel like though, like I definitely saw like
even Jack Black hardly posted about that fucking shit.
No, but did you see that video though where they had like they did like an interview thing where they had Claptrap interviewing Claptrap, like another Claptrap. So Jack Black was like interviewing himself in the Claptrap voice.
Oh wow!
So they did do some marketing there. Like he did, make an effort in a sense. But But yeah, I mean, from what I hear though, like his voice pissed off fans of the game. So another bad artistic choice, maybe.
Right.
But yeah, I think this was just a whirlwind of terribleness, and you got this end product.
I can't, it's hard for me to like wrap my head around a movie with this big of a budget flopping this hard.
Yeah, it's insane. I really didn't know how big of a flop this was until you read those Morbius and Madam Web numbers.
Yeah,
that's really telling. Yeah. Well, I don't think we'll see this until it's free somewhere, and maybe not even then. So,
yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'll see it
because I'm always curious to see a really bad movie, but
like I know that Zack Snyder's Rebel Moon 2 is bad.
Oh,
and I saw the first one, so like you'd think that I'd maybe want to see how it ends, but I have no interest in watching that.
I agree.
I don't. I'm never gonna watch it because I just know. I know it's bad. I know the first one was terrible.
Right. Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. This I think we dissected this one well. I think it's really bad. And yeah.